I would like to address a very disturbing, degrading, and disgusting video that has been circulating on social media.
Big booty 3.
I want to make it clear that this board, as well as the administration of Newark Public Schools, does not in any way support these type of activities at all, especially in our school buildings.
As a mother, as a woman, as an aunt, as a woman elected on this school board, a parent, a taxpayer, I am appalled.
They only apologized because the video was leaked. If the video wasn't leaked, that event would have still taken place on July 20th, and there would have been more than basketballs bouncing in that gym. Who came up with the term, nutting, but ass?
That was the aftermath of an absolutely crazy story that's coming out of a government school in Newark, New Jersey. Which anybody who's been to Newark knows it's a terrible city to live in, but this is bad even by Newark standards. The backstory here is they were calling this the NBA Baddies Basketball Tournament, which apparently in this case, NBA is short for nuttin' but ass. And of course, because that's not ghetto enough, they had to spell ass with 2 Z's. The event itself was being hosted by a music manager named Big Fendi. According to what I could find about this, there is a Newark councilman named Dupree Kelly, who is also the high school principal, and the claim is that a third party reached out to Kelly about holding a community basketball game. Then Kelly's office reached out to the school district to find out if the gym was available, leading to the event being scheduled for July. Just one thing that I think is worth mentioning, apparently the tickets to this were all the way up to $500 per ticket, which seems pretty crazy to me, but maybe there's a big market for this, I don't know. Naturally, because they had their big celebrity basketball game coming up, they had to create a promotional video for it. I won't put you through the whole promotional video, but here is a short clip to give you an idea of just how crazy it is that this was going on at a government school.
July 21st is going down, Nicki Minaj, NBA Celebrity Basketball Tournament with baddies, okay? We here to play to win, okay? $10,000 for the best team.
Giving out $10,000 to the best team. Is going to be 4 teams, right?
That promotional video has now gone pretty viral, leading to the school board getting involved and the event being canceled. It also led to the previously mentioned Big Fendi putting out an apology video on Instagram.
First of all, I want to start off by saying I apologize to the whole city of Newark, New Jersey. My deepest apologies. Most importantly, I want to apologize to Principal Cook and Councilman Dupree, Kelly Dupree. I deeply apologize. The content of this video, you guys knew nothing about. We were doing the event and then, things went a little left and out of control, and I take full responsibility for that because you guys had no knowledge of what these girls will be wearing in this celebrity game and whoever was affected by this video. I want to apologize to the parents, to the students, for affecting anyone and anybody else that was involved, man. My deepest apologies. Hopefully this helps.
After that, the topic was brought up during the Newark Board of Education meeting, with board members saying that there's an investigation going on and that they're looking into how exactly this all happened. And if I had to bet, I would say all that's going to mean is that they're going to enact some new rule or policy where you have to go through 3 or 4 different steps or layers before that can be approved. If you would like to hear the full comments by the Board of Education members, here they are.
Before I end my president's report, I would like to address a very disturbing, degrading, and disgusting video that has been circulating on social media. I want to make it clear that this board, as well as the administration of Newark Public Schools, does not in any way support these type of activities at all, especially in our school buildings. This was not a district event or Westside High School event, and none of our students were involved in this fiasco. We are committed to upholding values of respect, especially for women, and in all aspects, integrity. Our commitment to fostering a respectful and inclusive environment remains unwavering. Immediate steps were taken to address the situation, along with measures to prevent it from ever happening in the future. This situation is still being investigated, and appropriate disciplinary action will be taken as deemed appropriate. Although we do not have a meeting in July, the work continues. Summer program begins next week, and the programs are meaningful and engaging for our students.
Thank you for addressing briefly the Westside High School situation. I'm glad that there is an investigation, as you mentioned, Board President. But I want to make sure that in the investigation, there's some important questions that need to be answered. And I just want to put it on the record. One was the request in writing. Who did the request? Was it an organization? Was it a person? Who approved it in the district? It was a lengthy promo, so they were in there for a long time. So who granted it? And if they get granted access to the school, aren't they supposed to have some insurance or whatever if it's an organization of some sort? Or could just anyone request access to a school? So I just, that's a lot of process questions that even if it wasn't an incident such as this one, there has to be some process, and I want to know what that process is in general. So, and the timing of this investigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Garcia?
Thank you, Board President. Actually, I want to thank you, Ms. Jackson. Okay, so I just want to say I'm deeply, deeply outraged and disappointed regarding the recent incident involving the NBA Baddies basketball tournament promotional video filmed at Westside High School. As a mother, as a woman, as an aunt, as a woman elected on this school board, a parent, a taxpayer, I am appalled that such an appropriate video was associated with that school or any of our schools. That's just not acceptable. The fact that a video featuring women in very little clothing dancing provocatively was filmed inside the school gym while students were present is very alarming. This incident not only undermines the integrity of our educational environment, but also sends an entirely inappropriate message to our children. Schools should be a sanctuary for learning and growth, not venues for exploitative activities. I seek information on how the NBA Baddies promotional shoot was allowed, who authorized the use of the school gym for that purpose, what measures are being taken to hold those responsible accountable. The explanations provided by the Newark School District spokesperson and an elected official have been insufficient. That is not acceptable. That neither entirely seems to have known about this event or the content when it was a little too late, as we all have seen on social media. Furthermore, I urge the board to immediately implement a more rigorous vetting process for all applications for use for school facilities, which you all know and you have inquired, does it fall under operations? Yes. Did it come before operations? No. Any request to use a facility must be thoroughly vetted and reviewed by all approved and all relevant parties, including school administrators and the school board, to ensure the integrity and appropriateness of the events on school grounds. We entrust our children to the school district, expecting their best interests always to be a priority. This incident is a blatant failure to uphold that trust. I urge immediate action to prevent anything like this from happening again. This includes a thorough investigation, clear accountability, and the implementation of stricter controls on how our school facilities are used and by whom, and not in a committee with just certain board members, all of us as a whole. I look forward to a prompt and detailed immediate address responding these concerns. Thank you so much.
Board President.
Board President.
Board Member James Freison?
I'm in agreement with both of my board colleagues, but as the only West Ward board member on this dais, I was deeply disgusted to find out that anyone could use our facilities, but when the parents go to schools, they're being denied access to our buildings. So I have a concern with that. That's my first concern. Secondly, I also would like to know who actually put in for the permit. I watched all the videos with individuals apologizing, but I'm not accepting their apologies. Not one bit am I accepting any of their apologies. Why? They only apologized because the video was leaked. If the video wasn't leaked, that event would have still taken place on July 20th, and there would have been more than basketballs bouncing in that gym, okay? I am disgusted to find out that this took place in one of our facilities with Westside High School logos all over the videos, okay? They apologizing, the tickets were $500, and I cannot imagine who came up with the term nothing but ass on the Eventbrite video. So I'm disgusted. So I share my condolences with Board Member Danny. I would like to know who requested the permit, and as a skilled investigator as myself, I want to know the findings, what was the summary, and what are the recommendations moving forward so this will not happen again in any of our schools, regardless of what district this took place in.
Board President.
Thank you. Board Member Williams.
Okay, so I just want to take it a step further. We spend a lot of money on video cameras and security. I would like to know who signed in, who opened those doors, who allowed access, and I want to know how many minors were on site at the time that this video was shot. So I did ask for a presentation from security to find out exactly how this took place, a timeline. At such and such, these 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals actually signed in, because we can't get in as board members without signing in the books.
Thank you, Board Member Williams. Board Vice President Santana.
Yeah. Thank you, Board President. Again, I agree with every single remark that was shared by my colleagues. I just really urge, for the folks who don't live in Newark, and for the folks in the room that report on Newark, this is not what Newark is about. We've worked so hard to build up our district, to increase our scores, to increase our levels of absenteeism. After the pandemic, yes, Board Member Williams, it's been truly difficult, but we've been working at this every single day, and we're not gonna allow an outside entity, which I don't even believe they reside within the state of New Jersey, to bring down not only our reputation, but to turn, just the general public consensus against the work that's being done on behalf of our students here. Our principals work too hard, our staff works too hard, and our students, most importantly, are showing up every single day. So, I mean, I'm really disheartened by what's happened there. I think it's been a total breakdown of just processes. Again, if a permit was put in for that particular event in July, again, the permit wasn't for them to shoot a promotional video, right? So we're gonna need to know, again, sign-in sheets, who was there on site, who put in the request, and if the request was shared by a partner local governmental entity, what can we do to prevent this from happening in the future? So we need to identify the gaps, what went wrong, so we can ensure that this never happens again. We truly apologize. And again, we're gonna hold whoever needs to be held accountable. I mean, count on us. And I know that we don't typically meet in July, Board President, but if we need to reconvene in July to get down to the bottom of this, I'm gonna, make that request of you and of this board. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Board Member
Mr.
Anderson?
President.
Board Member Anderson?
Thank you, Mr. President. So while I don't want to belabor the point, I too, when I found out about the incident, I hadn't seen the video until yesterday, and the first thing came to my mind was, what was the oversight? Who was responsible? How is anyone allowed in the buildings when we do have processes, and you cannot just walk up into a building. I don't know who the organizer is. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't believe they were thinking, because in our minds and our hearts, no public place, whether it be the school, a city building, no governmental space is for any of that type of activity. That stuff should be reserved for a private environment. That's for none of us in here. I'm sure you can agree. That's for none of us in here. And while Mrs. Santana said that she apologizes, I cannot apologize for someone I do not know, I haven't heard from, I don't know what they're about, with the exception of probably making a profit. I will not apologize. However, I will concur with everyone up here to know what happened, who was responsible, and I want to see some true discipline. I don't want to know that, oh, this happened and then somebody got a slap on the wrist. So that's where I'm at with it in my thoughts. You know, I didn't prepare a speech. I know that it happened. I know that as of me sitting here in this seat tonight, that people are under the impression that the event is still going on, and we need to publicize that it is not going on. I don't care if tickets are still on sale on Eventbrite. It is not going on. So that is my speech. And hopefully we will learn about this sooner than the month of July. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent Leon.
Yes. On the, thank you so much for that. So one of the things that I had shared with Board Member Gonzalez, he rattled a list of really important questions. So we'll use that as the frame for responses. You made a really important point that I just wanted to echo, that obviously this event isn't happening at Westside High School. And I think that we have publicly shared important information with regards to the whole idea that this was never a district or school event in the first place. I would try to end on this part of the conversation to share with the board that an investigation did in fact launch into all aspects of this, and obviously district staff, as well as those who are not district staff, are the ones who will be held responsible. Obviously, it's easier for us to address anyone who is our employee, but it would be very difficult to address another person who is somebody else's employee, because there are implications as to who is ultimately responsible, and we don't govern over those people. So in terms of knowing a little bit more or knowing the whole thing complete, the investigation isn't finished, as the board president mentioned, but we have some information, not all of it, and we will be more than clear with the board.
We know that schemes like vouchers and charters that are designed to take that money out of our public schools is not going to do what we need for all of our students, because public education is the foundation of our democracy.
Yeah, no.